What's up guys, it's Roman here from iUnboxOfficial, and today we're talking about the iPad mini 2, so let's get into it. So if you guys don't know, the iPad mini has been almost out for a year now, and everyone's been speculating the upcoming iPad mini device, so in this case the iPad mini 2. So go and take a look at everything you should expect in this upcoming iPad mini, so let's get into it. So first off, the release date, everything's been pointing towards Q4 of this year, so in around October, November-ish time frame, Apple might host their own separate conference and release the iPad mini 2 and the iPad 5 there. Just like they did last year, I believe, and so that should be in around October, November, maybe even early December. So spec-wise, everything's been pointing towards the same 7.9-inch display, but the only difference is it might be Retina display. So if you guys know, the iPad 2 was non-Retina, and the iPad 3 was. So with the iPad mini, it wasn't, and possibly the iPad mini 2 will be. Everyone's been hoping that the iPad mini 2 will be Retina display because currently the quality on the iPad mini isn't the greatest. I mean, it's similar to the, actually it's exactly the same as the iPad 2 quality, which isn't the greatest. All the words, you can kind of see the pixelation going, and so processor wise, you're probably looking at around the dual-core A6X chip, possibly the A7 chip, but most likely not, as the iPad mini is a lower and a cheaper price than the actual iPad. So you should expect a lower CPU on the iPad mini 2. So it's most likely going to ship with 1 to 2 gigabytes of RAM also. And operating system wise, you should expect iOS 7, as it has already been released for beta testing and stuff. So if you want to see how it's actually going to look like on iPad mini, there's a bunch of videos on YouTube. Just type in iPad mini iOS 7, and it looks pretty cool. It's more simpler, flatter design, more features, and just overall, I guess, better user experience, because iOS 6, iOS 5, they've been the same for the past 3 or 4 years now, so it's something new to expect. Camera-wise, there's going to be a 5 megapixel rear camera along with 1080p video, and it's not the greatest. I mean, 8 megapixels would be. So camera-wise, there's most likely going to be a 5 megapixel rear camera along with 1080p video, and the front camera is probably going to stay the same at 1.2 megapixels. Maybe they'll bump it up to 2, but I don't really think they will. It's probably going to stay exactly the same as it is, along with 720p HD FaceTime video. And it's going to ship with 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte variants, $329, $429, and $529 respectively. And I don't really think they're going to release a 128 gigabyte model. They might do it. They released it with the iPad 4 right now, so they probably release it later on, or maybe even with on the release date they'll do 4 different variants. So if they do release a 128 gigabyte model, it's probably going to be around $629. And yeah, as you can see, the iPad mini 2 isn't going to be like an actual physical upgrade from the iPad mini. It's just going to be a purely internal upgrade. So pretty much all the specs will be bumped up a little bit, and just make the user experience better and faster. And the overall design is going to be expected to stay exactly the same. Possibly with the iPad mini 3, way in the future, it's going to be changing a little bit, but maybe they'll trim off a couple millimeters off the sides, off the top, make it smaller, lighter, thinner. But that's pretty much it. The overall actual design isn't going to change. And if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.